So I spoke with Stanley's specialist, and he got the test results back for the EPI, which is one of the things we were waiting for. The other thing the other thing we had already was his liver enzymes had gone way up, and so that was something that we were concerned about. So we knew his liver enzymes had gone back to normal, which is really, really good news. We knew that last week, and then just got the results today for the EPI, which is the exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, and they came back positive. So we think that we have a diagnosis, which is really, really good news. And the EPI diagnosis was our best case scenario for Stanley. So I think overall that's really, really good news. It means that in theory, we should be able to treat him. He has EPI and juvenile diabetes, so both of those things. So basically, his pancreas is not working at all, and so we need to make up for that with insulin and pancreatic enzymes. So over the weekend, we were really struggling with the enzymes because on Thursday they had increased the dose and it was making him nauseous, and so he didn't want to eat, and it was irritating his mouth, and he had lost a little bit of weight, which he really can't afford to lose. So and his blood glucose was still too high, and so really what needs to happen is they need to figure out there are a whole bunch of different factors that influence his well-being, like hydration, how much food he's eating, how much insulin he's getting, how much enzyme he's getting, how well he's tolerating the enzyme, and so the best place for him right now is in a 24-hour intensive care place, and so because they'll be much more efficient in doing that than we will be here. Like it was like 3 hours every 12 hours that we were trying to get him to eat and preparing his enzymes different ways and trying to document everything, and we just it wasn't the right the treatment plan that we were trying wasn't the right mix, and to keep doing that for a week until his recheck just didn't seem like a good idea to me. And so I feel better that he is back at the ICU. Of course it's going to be expensive again, and he'll probably be there for several more days while they try to figure out a program that he tolerates better. And that includes like researching different kinds of enzymes and maybe lowering the dose and figuring out the best way to do his insulin. It's a very multifaceted problem, and any little adjustment over here can have a huge effect on everything else. So it's pretty complicated, but it's a huge relief that we do have a diagnosis. We're like 90% sure that it's the juvenile diabetes plus the EPI, and that if we can get this exact mix of treatment figured out, then he should be able to live a normal, healthy, happy life. So he will always need insulin injections. We don't know what the dosage is yet. And he will always need enzymes in his food, so he will need special care for his whole life. But if he gets that care, it's just like a human with diabetes. Lots of humans with diabetes live totally healthy, happy lives, and they just manage the problem. And so that's very good news. So, hey, they don't really do pancreas transplants in felines. Yeah, so anyway, so that's really good news, and it was definitely tough weekend for me, for Gwen. Lori was here helping out, Suzanne and Kathy. I mean, everyone has shared the burden of the Stanley saga for the last week, but this is good news. And the best news that we could have gotten. So that's all. So that's all I know at this point. It's just going to be a question of them experimenting to get everything right. And so we're expecting he'll be there for several days. Look how handsome you are. If Chester gets lonely, he might go visit Rory and Lorelai or someone else, but he seems to be doing okay so far. He's so handsome. So, yeah, so it's very challenging, we have to be very precise about everything, and I think the next few days they'll start to get a handle on everything, and hopefully they'll be able to figure out. I'm sure they'll have different ideas about how to do the enzymes, which will be better. So that's very good. So thank you guys for all of your support and encouragement. I know it's been like hard to watch, particularly probably last night and stuff, but he was when Kathy drove him there, and said that this time he was kind of rolling around, trying to get chin pets, and he seemed a lot less fearful than he was his first hospitalization, so that's good. So we just have to now wait and see, but at least, unlike his first time in the ICU, we're not worried. This isn't, as far as I know, he's not out of the woods by any stretch, but this is not a life or death. Like, we're not touch and go. Like, I'm not expecting to get a phone call tomorrow that, he didn't make it through the night. I think we're at a point where he's stable. He's just not, his conditions aren't being managed well yet, and so now we have hope we can get there. We do have there is reason to hope for sure, and we just have to get things right. So I think overall that's good news. Definitely the best case scenario. I know Chester's a very good emotional support cat. Like, oh, I get a little nip. He's very special. So, so that's the update. So, I'm gonna try to update Facebook and stuff, but things are a little bit crazy at the moment. We have a whole bunch of TNR cats at HQ, so actually we have 6 that are finally ready to go back tomorrow, but we've done, I've lost count of how many TNRs and dentals. We've done a bunch of big dentals, and we have 2 pregnant cats here, Serenity and Amelia. So there's a lot going on, as usual, and Lulu and Paris got spayed today, and we'll be going home later this week, I think. And I do have a couple of other announcements, but it's just a matter of getting caught up on things. So I will keep you posted on all of that. And I think good news good news, the best news we could be hoping for Stanley. So even though he still has a tough road ahead, once we get it managed, it's just, we know that it's temporary. The hard part should be temporary for him, and that we can alleviate it. It might take a while, but we should be able to get there. So that is a very big reason to be happy for tonight. So I'll stop rambling now. You know how I ramble when I get tired. Yeah, Paris is definitely having a slow recovery from her stay. She's not feeling super great. Usually by morning they're totally back to normal, but I am keeping an eye on her. Yes, we can all sleep much better tonight than last night. We don't actually know how many kittens we're expecting. Not yet. So Nelia is pretty excitable. Serenity is very shut down and just kind of stays in her spot and lets me pet her, and she doesn't enjoy it, but she is just shuts down. And Nelia is the opposite. When I go in, she goes, climbing walls and things. So it's an interesting mix. So, yes, good announcements. Yeah, you guys will be happy. So, okay, so I think that's it.